please, and she said it a second time as I sat in a chair next to her, please, I don't need to be recognized as 7-star. And I said, hogwash. We're gonna recognize you as 7-star. Kim is serving, and she's laying a foundation. Before you can build something massive, you better lay a strong, massive foundation. And she's helped us to lay that foundation. I wanna roll a video and recognize 7-star director, Kim Hui.
非常感谢 Kim 带领我们创造一个又一个新的成功奇迹。
我覺得 Kim 咧最能夠激勵我咧就係佢係一個以身作則嘅領袖啦，喺佢身邊咧學習到咧點樣做一個有責任嘅領袖，去幫助團隊。咁啊，希望阿 Kim 咧喺未來嘅日子裏邊咧繼續開開心心、健健康康，咁有機會俾我哋咧跟住佢咧去到世界唔同嘅地方，去幫助更加多嘅人。多謝。
I want you to put your hands together and please get on your feet. Put your hands together and welcome 7-star director from Sedona, from Diamond Bar, California, from Asia, and from Zion National Park. Please put your hands together and welcome to stage 7-star Kim Hui. Say this over and over and over. I'd get your notebooks out. I'd get your notebooks, I'd get the note section, your phone out. Kim's gonna pour it out to you guys. She's gonna give it her all. And you're in for a treat, guys. You don't build what she's built over decades by accident. Success leaves clues. You're in for an amazing treat, and you're in for a ton of inspiration and education. As myself and my wife and the 6 stars exit the stage, we want to roll a brand new video regarding Kim Hui. Please play. Thank you.
Months ago, amongst the Red Rock giant of Sedona, it started with an intention of building a global community based in love and contribution. That intention ignited the spark, and the spark became a fire. Nestled in a forest in the mountains of Taiwan, joined by a diverse group of beautiful human beings, people with a pioneering mindset from all over the world, all gathered to learn and to expand as we move into the next phase of our journey. This rising generation of leaders are stepping into a new, expanded version of themselves through the power of this global movement. The joy of self-discovery is unfolding in the climb towards freedom and wellness. Through our connection and interaction, we begin to awaken the realization of who we are. This work is part of my life's purpose. This 18 months journey has illustrated the magical power of intention when backed by the effort of honoring one's purpose. As I'm sitting here, I am filled with joy and gratitude. It is the opening to a new level of liberation, a new zest for life, while sharing a rare and precious opportunity to transform lives around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, to acknowledge the magnificence of the extras of the moment, please put your hands together, rise up out of your seats, and recognize excellence when you see it. For our 7-star director, the amazing, the incomparable, the one and the only, ladies and gentlemen, Kim Hui!
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Wow. What an incredible journey. And what an incredible event the last couple of days. As I was backstage, listening to some of the stories, some of the sharings, in the last couple of days, I was sitting in the room, witnessing what's transpired the last 18 months. I can't help but really truly humbles you as a human being. Of the power of dream, of the power of intention. And as I was backstage watching all the 6 stars, the existing one and the new ones, the collaboration from all over the world, it's like a united nation. It's like all the family gathering and hugging each other. And that thought came to mind. I thought, how powerful would it be if all of our 6 stars and beyond, if we all rise up. I know many of you have done great things. And I know many of you haven't even begun. I know you tasted a bit of a freedom the last 17 months. But I tell you, I could see from walking the journey the past 31 years, there's such deep talents in this room. The Ferraros, the Roushes. If you only knew how powerful you are, the stories that you can bring out to the world. And I know that many of you that I have had the pleasure to work with, to sit down with, don't let the rank define you. For what I see, of all the people that I met and yet to meet, that there is this incredible giant in you. I've lived, if I'm blessed to live 120 years, nowadays they said, you know what? Human beings can live 120 years. I don't know who defined that, but whatever that is. I'm almost 60 years old, so that makes me half of my life journey. And sometimes, you know, when you get to live half of your life, you learn to tell and live your truth. And I'm at a point in my life that I walk different stages of different cycles of life, perhaps like many of you. I remember the days when I first came to America when I was 14 years old. Went to high school here, went to college here, worked a job. As a matter of fact, what inspired me about international business is after I got my bachelor's degree, I went to UCLA to get some postgraduate studies. And one of the courses I took was international business. And I remember the professor was describing the horizon that he saw about doing business in China, about Vietnam. And here I was, all I knew was to work in a corporate job. And so in that journey of growing up here, working a corporate job, got married, got laid off, you know, became an entrepreneur, got married, had a child, raising a child. Now the child's in college. My son grew up watching me in this business. You know, the lady Danielle has spoke, you know, carrying her baby, presenting. I remember my son was a year old. He refused to be watched by someone else. And doing the presentation, I didn't have a baby carrier. I carried my son on the hip. And I was doing compensation plan, I was doing training. My son was a year old. And so as you live life, you know, I remember as a young mom, being an entrepreneur, doing a business, and also being a stay-home, being working from home, raising a child. To now, my son is in college, so empty nester. And I'm sure the last couple of years that some of us, perhaps due to whatever that happened, we lost some loved ones. I lost my mother a couple of years ago. And my father now is 98 years old. I took him home, taking care of my father while launching through. At some point in your life, you can help. As I'm watching my dad, 98 years old, you can't help but you think about life. At some point in all of our lives, we will check out. But what gives it meaning? What gives it impact? What gives it significance about life? Is while you're alive, how do you want to live your life? What kind of impact do you want to do? I have the blessing of living in this great country of ours. The greatest enterprise, free enterprise in the world. Some of us have heard people talk about the American dream. When I came here at 14 years old, I remember mom and dad always talk about the American dream, the white picket fence. And yet, watching how my mom just struggled in America, I said, how is that? That the land of the free, the home of the brave, why is it like that, the American dream? And it took living life. It took me going on this journey of 31 years. I came to some realization about life and about being an impact entrepreneur. So what I like to do at this point is I like to share with you a journey. And I really, all the sharing, all the teaching that was done the last couple of days, and with this incredible Iron Cowboy, James, I think all that need to be said has been said. But what I like to do at this moment is to share with you a PowerPoint that I prepared when I was doing the Asia expedition. And usually during my career of 31 years, I rarely repeat my training. I rarely repeat PowerPoint. But I believe this PowerPoint, there's lots of depth in it. And there's a lot of profound meaning in it. And I do hope that today, I get to share that with all of you. And perhaps through its content, through beyond voice, through the energetic value of the beyond the voice, and the picture, that you get something out of it for you. Because as you hear the sharing, you hear people's story, it transcends business. This is life. So allow me to share with you this PowerPoint. It's called An Impact Entrepreneur's Journey. Nowadays in this world, we all can become entrepreneurs. But what if, not only do you become an entrepreneur, but you can become an impact entrepreneur. While you're doing it as an entrepreneur, you're changing your life. At the same time, you have the opportunity to help other people change your life. And I love this picture, the little girl in that cave. How many of you heard about Superwoman, Superman? These superheroes, okay? So this is about you. It's about life, about journey. So as we were born into this quote-unquote ordinary world. Is it really ordinary? Well, let's take a look. All of us will go through this life cycle. When we're born, we learn to walk, we'll crawl, we learn to walk, then we'll go to school, get a job, maybe start a relationship, get married, start a family, and then we get old. I do not know where you are in this life cycle, but this is a cycle that it really dawned on me. When I lost my mom a couple of years ago, My mother was my inspiration. My mother only has 3rd grade of education. But my mother was the most well-read woman I know. She would read 10 books a week. In her days off, she would go to the library. And she worked in a restaurant, loud noises in the kitchen. But that never stopped her from learning and growing. Mom and Dad had 4 girls. Mom and Dad knew that if we were to stay in America, if staying in Hong Kong, there's no chance for the 4 girls to go to college. Education was a big part of my mom's drive. So my mom, no matter what, wanted to send her 4 kids to America, land of the free, home of the brave. So 4 girls all graduated from college. But when I lost my mom, it didn't really hit me at the time until my father fell, was at elderly home, and I refused watching my dad stay at the elderly home. So I took my dad home to one of my homes, and I stayed with him for 1 year. And as I saw my dad age, the way he walked, he no longer walking freely, he has to use a walker. It just dawned on me that all of us, at some point, will walk off. But what kind of legacy do you want to leave? What kind of legacy, what kind of things do you want to leave for your children, for the next generation, and for humanity as a whole? So when you look at this life cycle, it's almost as if we're on this cycle, on this treadmill, this cycle of life. So when you look at this, ask yourself, where are you in this life? We all someday will walk off. And this daily life cycle, I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know all of you what you do for a living. But most of us are stuck in this treadmill of life. You get up, go to work, go home, go to sleep. In between, you might eat and do bathroom things. The next morning, what do? Get up, go to work, go home, go to sleep. What do you do the day after? Get up, go to work, go home, go to sleep. How many of you are living this daily cycle? How many of you? Most of us are on this life cycle. This is human way of life. Now, how many of you ever asked this question? That question is there more to life than that? Those of you that have a job, have a business, have you ever thought about, is there more to life? I still remember one of the jobs I had, I used to work for a Fortune 500 company. I used to be a senior accountant for a company called Northrop Grumman. I remember I worked in the corporate office. That was in Century City in California. I still recall, Century City is beautiful. Every morning when I walk into that cubicle, how many of you watch a movie called Joe vs. the Volcano? There's a scene in that movie that when the actor, I forgot his name now, when he walked into his office, the cubicle, there was like fluorescent lights. And there's a saying, he says, you know what? Those fluorescent lights, as if it's sucking the juice out of him. How do you remember that scene? For me, when I walk into my cubicle, those fluorescent lights, I felt as if they were sucking the juice out of me. And you know what? I remember at lunchtime, one of my favorite things to do is to break away, to escape that. And I would walk outside to the Century City Mall. But I knew that within 1 hour, I'll be walking back to my cubicle. For those of my friends that still have a job, nothing wrong with that. But have you ever asked the question, is there more to life than whatever you're doing? Well, when you're brave enough to ask that question, the universe answers. What happens? Call to adventure. 3 is calling. For those of you that answer that call, I know you are here today. Those of you that answer that call, it's like a movie. Matrix. You want to take the red pill or the blue pill? You want to stay with whatever life treadmill that you are on, or you go down a new path. Because when you're brave enough to answer that call. That is the beginning that you get to step into a special world. If I were to sum it up, the things that I've seen, the things that I experienced in this platform, truly, we get to live and experience what it feels like to walk away, to leave the ordinary world, and to step into a special world. What's a special world? The special world is a journey of self-discovery. You think about some of the stories that people share with you right here. It's not only about self-discovery, it's also about self-mastery. And that journey, most people seek things from the outside. But what I can tell you is this: the last 31 years, it was an inner voyage. It was a journey within. And yet, it was an external adventure. And as you get involved in this journey with us, you answer the call. I know that we have some new member here, some new people that are looking at 3 that just joined us. And I want to share something with you about this so-called journey to self-discovery. Why is it when people come into this platform, this business, certainly the investment is very small. And yet, why is it that people come in, they didn't have the tenacity? What was it that people come in and out, in the door, out the door? Why do they not stick? And here's what I come to realize. And I was flying to Asia, and I was flying to Japan actually. When all this idea came to me, I was downloading all this idea and there came this PowerPoint. And what really came to me was this: as you begin on this journey of self-discovery, why do people do not have the tenacity to stay? Once you truly understand this, when you begin to step into this world, to go on a journey of self-discovery, the first thing you'll get is you'll be challenged and you'll be tested. Now, why? Let me ask this question. How many of you have ever, when you talk to your friend, family members, you want to share this opportunity, how many of you have ever got rejected? Show of hands. Almost all the hands went up. Why is that? Once you understand this picture I'm going to share with you, you will no longer take it personally. You are now in the presence of new things. You are in the presence of new understanding. When you are in the presence of new understanding, that is the beginning of change. Samson talked about stepping outside of the matrix. Most of us, our entire lives, we have been conditioned. Sometimes by the good nature of our parents, of our grandparents. Sometimes by the educational system. And oftentimes by society. What we're being taught, what people accepted as normal, they accepted as a way of life in the past. That's all they knew. But as you are in the presence of new feeling, new vibration, you felt things, you see things, your heart begins to, there's a spark in you. As you begin to share with other people, say, guys, look at what I saw. There's a better way to life than whatever the 9 to 5. There's a better way to life. There's a way out of this treadmill of life. And you go knock on their door, you want to share with them. Guess what they will tell you? They'll reject you. Why is that? Because it is not what they know. It is outside of what they were comfortable with. When most of the society nowadays, I believe people are waking up. The last couple of years, it took that challenge for most people to wake up, to question the things that we were taught, the history that we were told of who we are, your abilities, our ability, we haven't even tapped into a little tiny dust of our talents and our abilities. So when you gotta be grateful. When you are here, you begin this journey. As you talk to other people, when you get rejected, you say, you know what? At least I'm growing. At least I answered that call. And I showed up for change. Would you give us a big round of applause, please? I can hear you. You've been told. Whether you're good, not good enough. Let it all roll over you. I remember my parents took us here. I didn't speak a word of English 40-somewhat years ago. I said, Mom and Dad, I want to be millionaire because I want to take care of you guys. And Mom and Dad will always say, to do that, you got to go to college. Is that true? Is that a fact? No, but that's what my mom and dad were told. That's what my grandparents were taught them. But those conditioning, there are times they no longer serve us. So as you go and share with other people, when you get rejected, most of the society are in this picture like sheep. That's all they knew. But I'm telling you, there is a new wave of professionals that are coming in. And that is 3, and that's each and every single one of you in this room. Give yourself another big round of applause. Why do people reject you? Or why do sometimes we reject ourselves? Why is that? The second thing you encounter as you go on this journey of self-discovery is something called fear. There are times it's fearful when people laugh at you, when people reject you. There's resistance. And sometimes when people laugh at you, they reject you, it triggers some insecurity in us. Whatever that might be. You know, all of us show up in life. Whatever circumstances, whatever our life circumstances, whatever our situation, we showed up in life differently. With our different upbringing, different background, but whatever that is, we show it in life. Now, why is that fear? Because all the past conditioning, the past programming, is like a spider web. It bound us. Most of us were bound by what they used to know. And sometimes what we used to know were comfort zones that held us in place. But if you really want to break free, you gotta have the courage to step into the unknown. You know, I'm kind of like an oddball in my family of my parents. I'm always like a black sheep in the family amongst all the girls. All my mom and dad have 4 girls. I'm the only one that have short hair. All my 3 sisters have long hair, beautiful, very feminine. But that's who they are. And growing up, I remember there's something that triggers me when all the people were praising my sisters, my siblings, how beautiful, feminine they are. They go, look at you, why do you have short hair? Why are you always running around like a tomboy? But I never ever let that bother me. You just gotta live you of who you are. And not let anyone to label you. Because those labels, those words, those constructs, those are the spider web that bounds you to where you are. Like Iron Man said today, the next step forward is change. The next step forward to step into the unknown will bring you unknown results. Whatever I was known, all the education, the college, after 10 years working in corporate America, I had nothing to show for, except I got laid off. I was fired. And I told myself, I will never, ever give anyone the power to fire me ever again. When you have that resolve, you just gotta have that resolve in life. I knew that after 10 years of work with a college degree, I got nothing to show for after 10 years. I said, I refuse to give another 10 years of my life building someone else's dream. And then 10 years later, 20 years later, to be laid off. I refuse. And sometimes, you know, it took someone to take that away from you for you to tap into the unknown, for that courage to step in and tap into the unknown. So how do we go about doing that? As you go into, these are things that we all face. You all heard about the sharing, the rejection, the laughter, the ridicule, whatever that is. We all get it. Why? Because most people, 95% of people are stuck in all the programming and conditioning of what was possible for them, what was taught by society, what was conditioned. Their whole condition, their whole life, that's what their trajectories are. So how do we go about breaking through that? How do we do that? We do that through grace. You gotta find your way. What is grace? Grace is all that existing right here and beyond. Grace is beyond words. Grace is when there's a knowing that you are a lot bigger than what's trapped into this body. You are a lot bigger and better than what's in this physical body. This is just a physical containment, partial, to experience this thing called life on earth. So as you are on this journey of self-discovery, you just gotta find your way. And I love this picture. When this idea came, I asked my graphic artist, I said, give me a Kung Fu girl. How many of you heard about Kung Fu? You just gotta find your way. Some people will throw punches, some people will throw kicks. It doesn't matter. You do your thing and you find your way. 31 years ago when I started this industry, I remember that people were telling me, Kim, you can't even talk, you can't even go on stage, you cannot even do public speaking. You are so shy. You are a bean counter, you're an accountant. You know nothing about sales and marketing. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Go back and find a job. You got a good education, you can find a job. I refuse. I gotta find my way. In life, it's about finding your way, of finding who you truly are. And you find your way through grace, through working it. Grace is something that you cannot touch, and perhaps you can't see. But grace is something that you can feel when you open your heart. I remember as I traveled the world, building companies and building businesses, and people would say, Kim, what is the best way for me to build my business, for me to become successful? I'll say through grace. There's grace in rejection. There's grace in ridicules. There's grace in courage. There's grace in the next person you talk to. Don't get latched on to what was said about you. Don't get latched on people's opinion of you. Don't get latched on all those programming. The Matrix. Remember what Cowboy James said? The visitor. I think when he was talking about it, what idea came? You know where the visitor came from? It came from the Matrix. Knock, knock. Go back to the program. Go back. I refuse. That visitor, we all get it. If you want to go a level deeper, why? I think it's a lot more than that self thing, that self-bullying. There's something happening in this universe that's trying to dumb down human beings. Yes. But you can rise above that. You can say, I ain't going back to that matrix. I ain't going back. Because I am a lot bigger and better than what my situation is. How are you going to change your life? Totally, completely change your life. How many of you wanted to be the example for your children? How many of you want to be an example to human beings? Like James Lawrence. He's the embodiment of human spirit. That is power. Yes, he has accomplished a whole lot. But what he's accomplished is the example he did for his family, for his children. And what he did was the example for our fellow human beings. What would have happened when he stopped? If I were to calculate all the people I've talked to, if I would calculate all the rejections, I perhaps have thousands. People that laughed at me, I don't know, tens of thousands. Some laughed at me publicly, some laughed at me privately. I could say, you can laugh all you want because I know where I'm going. I will send you sands from different sides of beaches. I'm going to different part of the world. But I am doing my thing because I'm living my truth. When you have that kind of conviction, don't let anybody tell you this thing. What thing? Oh, you mean my business? But you gotta have that resolve to say, this is me. I'm gonna live my truth. For the first time in the History Network Marketing that I know of, that we have a scientific advisory board that's unpaid. For the first time, we have a line of all of our product that's in the PDR.
Yep.
Every time I see the SAB, I will tell them, listen, if there's anything I can do for you guys to help promote your business, please let me, if there's anything I can be of help to you guys, let me know. Because I am humbled and I'm truly grateful for their contribution. Can we give all the SAP a big round of applause? And as you are brave enough to continue that journey, to find your way, whatever moves in Kung Fu you want to do, cake size, whatever you want to do, find your way. Because as you are willing to continue that journey, you're going to have the opportunity to meet your tribe and your guides. We have this incredible experience in Taiwan, in the foothills and the mountains in Taiwan. People from different countries, different walks of life, all got together. When you meet your tribe, you meet your community, you find your own meaning, and you find your connection. And the reward for that, money is there? Absolutely. But beyond money, the reward is in breaking the illusion. The illusion of who we were. You can really clap that. That is absolutely priceless. Can you imagine whatever you thought you were, whatever limitation, whatever belief system that no longer serve you, if you have the breakthrough to break through that illusion, how many think that's priceless? That's beyond money. But with a platform as this, you get to do it with a compensation plan attached to it. You get to do self-growth, self-development with a comp plan attached to it, and with a community that truly care, and that are here to guide you. And once you get that, you broke the illusion, what do? You're gonna return with the elixir. There are people that got the reward, they got the abundance. They go, that's it, adios, I'm checking out, I'm retiring. Many of us chose to do that, could do that. But I can tell you, today at luncheon, I did a private coaching with two incredible business leaders. And these people, they are returning with elixir. These two beautiful ladies have made multi-millions in this industry. But they chose to come back to work. They said, you have no idea how long I've been waiting to come back to work. With their wisdom, with their experience, it was such a breath of fresh air to have the opportunity to sit down with them. We have two legends that are coming back to work. Can we have Jessica Johnson and Tracy Bond? Stand up, please. Incredible. Ladies, welcome back. These ladies make millions of dollars. Also, look at our 81-year young Miss Christine Peterson. 81 years old. #1 worldwide in an international company. She is my inspiration. 81 years young, chose to come back to work. And she is returning with elixir. Can we give Christine Peterson a big round of applause? I also said who are very successful in their own right, in their business, but first time in this industry. I also do the coaching session with Kathy, Lewis, and Christine. Where are you, Kathy and Christine? All you. Give a big round of applause. Those of you that have had success, it doesn't have to be from this field. You have had success, you are returning with the elixir because you want to help other people to get to the success with the wisdom that you have, the experiences you have in life, in business. You will show up to work because you will make that impact. So return with elixir. When you do that, what happens? It's the 3 masteries of life. The one mastery is physical wellness. I am very grateful that through Daniel, through 3, I had the honor to be surrounded by a brilliant scientist. Dr. Dan Kugler, can we give it Dr. Dan Kugler? Very round of applause. Dr. Dan is one of the most humble human beings I know. And I said it to 2 people, one person in the past, and today I'll say the second one. I had said that before to my beautiful big brother, Mike McCormick. I told Mike, I said, when I grow up, I want to be like you. And the second person I want to say to is Dr. Dan Kugler. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Can you give me a big round of applause? I want to be like them for their virtue, for their character, for their principle. These are money can't buy. And I'm so honored and grateful to be surrounded with, and have the opportunity to connect with beautiful beings like that. You know, it was a very emotional day for me when we lost Mike. Very. But I always talk about Mike as if he's alive. Because to me, he is. Mike is a superhero. Coming back to this. Physical wellness. Through a better lifestyle. When you come here, not only are you taking incredible products, I hope that through this business platform, through this life platform, you get to live a more balanced life. I think it was late last night, I met with Lisa Holobowski and her husband. She is so dialed in and she's so focused. And I said, Lisa, you got kids. They're still young. Spend time with them. You know, my son's now 21 years old with a girlfriend. I said, son, when are you gonna come home and have, lunch or dinner with mom? Mom, I'm busy with college. You know, when your kids are young, enjoy them. Really. Second mastery is a mastery of financial wellness. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter where you are. Because wherever you are, wherever you've been, I was there. I remember there were days, Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes Corporation will call me and trying to find out where I parked my car. Because they want to tow that away because I was behind on payments. I remember there were days that American Express will call me and says, Ms. Hui, please, do leave home without it. Now they say, Ms. Hui, please, we invite you to be a Black Card member. Financial wellness. The abundance is all around you. But ultimately, what this platform has given me is a third piece, the third mastery. And it's an ever-evolving journey, and it's spiritual wellness. And when I speak of spiritual wellness, it has nothing to do with religion. It's connecting a journey in meeting your very best self. You know, you heard from the cowboy. He talked about being the best version of yourself. What does it really mean? Most people spend their entire life seeking love. Seeking that love. It's like the deer that musk scent. They would go from forest to forest looking for that scent. And yet that scent, where is that scent? It's in their belly. Most of us in our entire life looking for that romantic love, that love. And yet, there is someone, there's something that's longing for your acknowledgement. There's someone that's like, connect with me. Here I am. See me. And that is not from someone else. The best version of yourself is waiting for you. It's already there. But through a journey of working, through a journey of willing to tap into your inner world, take that inner voyage, you get to meet the very best version of yourself. 31 years ago, if you were to ask me to talk in front of 10 people, two things will happen. One, all my Chinese accents will come out. Two, my knees will be shaking and rocking. But 31 years later, it's cool to have all those zeros and numbers in the name or in assets. But it's even better when you have the opportunity to do your life work. Why is a group of us chose to start all over again? To found a new platform. Because we wanted to be the beacon of light for this industry. I believe when the industry is done right, network marketing, when it's done right, it's beautiful. And I could tell you, I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more grateful to have a beautiful human being, smart, wise, with a heart of gold, to be at the helm of this company, leading this company, taking this company to be the beacon of life of this industry. And that is Mr. Daniel Piku. Can we give a big round of applause, please? I believe with every fiber in my being, all the 6 stars, the Ferraros, you guys are the best talent I've ever seen in the industry. The best. And you're gonna count that out one more time, I promise you. Whatever number you shared with me before, you're gonna surpass beyond that. That love, that grit, that courage gonna come out. And Rouches, you two are the American Idol. You two are the ideal American couple. There are many people waiting to hear that story. Many people waiting for you guys. And Amy Dunlap, Holly DeMont, Adrian Louise, George, all the 6 stars. You have no idea. You have no idea how much love I have for you guys. No idea. Samson said to me yesterday, he goes, oh, Kim, you can relax today. Because yesterday I didn't have to talk on stage. I said, Samson, there is some work that takes a lot more than talking on stage. That is witnessing and holding space for all of our fellow 3 families. And the last thing I want to share with all of you is this. Wherever you've been, good or bad, whatever accomplishment you have done, high or low, it doesn't matter. I never carried a $100 million bronze medal, whatever, or not bronze, or whatever medal. I never carry that with me. For most people, forget about in this inside and outside of this industry, when they have that kind of money, when they have that kind of success, they are not willing to go back in the trenches, sitting with people one-on-one.
That's right.
Big room, small room, taking flights, boats, buses, to travel around the world to do that.
That's right.
The only way they would do that is something above and beyond money. There's something called purpose. There's something called calling. That it is responsibility. Think about this. What took place the last 4 years? That we all need to rise up and be the hope and be the change for humanity. So I invite you, all of us, let's go out there and build a $10 billion worldwide company and beyond. And let's together change